First, there is actually technically no such thing as a false twin flame, and I'll explain why I'm calling this video False Twin Flame Signs in just a second. Because here's the thing, guys, what you really want to know is if this person who you think is your twin flame is your twin flame. That's what you're really trying to figure out. And there's lots of labels, terminology out there, for better or for worse. And one of the ones that we see is false twin flame, karmic, twin flame, soulmate. And you're like, well, which one is it? Is it my twin flame? This person was really toxic. It feels like a false twin flame. Maybe that's what this was, right? So just to kind of address that, I think it's really innocent, and that people are just trying to figure out what the hell is going on, because this journey is so insane, right? At the very beginning, the running and the chasing, the obsessive thinking, like it's happening to you and you can't turn it off, and feeling like shit all the time, and like feeling like this is the most desperate situation that I've ever been in, and the sense of meaninglessness, and the stalking them on social media, and the bawling and crying all day and going crazy and losing your mind, right? Yeah, I want to know what the fuck is going on. So in all fairness, of course, people are just trying to figure out what's going on. That's why you see these labels, this terminology being thrown around. Now, let's talk about how to tell if this is your twin flame or if it's somebody else. Before I can explain that to you, I have to show you what a twin flame truly is. Watch this. So, out of all the information on the internet about twin flames, most of it is not great. And I'm not criticizing. Same thing with the very notion of that there is such a thing as a false twin flame. I don't mind. It's just people are trying to figure out what the hell is going on. This is so crazy. What is going on? And everybody on the internet, you're allowed to say whatever you want on the internet. It's the internet, guys. It's just like that. It doesn't matter what topic it is you want to talk about. It could be something as ordinary as finances or something like that, right? Like, it's mostly not great information. But the one thing when it comes to twin flames that everybody does get right is that it's like one soul in two bodies, or the soul like splits or something like that, right? The same soul vibration, something along those lines. That's what everybody agrees on, and it's absolutely true. Now, most of you watching, if not all of you watching, recognize that there is this process called reincarnation, right? So past lives, future lives, past incarnations, future incarnations. Okay, so for those of you that are new here, you've probably never seen this diagram before, or if you have, you may have seen it coming from another spiritual teacher who has never even heard of twin flames. And what's interesting is, after having worked with thousands of twin flames for a couple of years, I came up with this diagram. I like how can I explain this to people, right? And I drew this picture, and then it was like 6 or 7 months later, I found another spiritual teacher on YouTube who, again, has never even heard of twin flames, using this diagram to explain soul families and reincarnation. And I was like, hey, right? So guys, it's really just kind of self-evident that this is kind of what's going on with reincarnation. It's kind of like walking out your back door in the morning, looking east and seeing the sun coming up over the horizon. You saw it, but everybody else saw it too. Does that make you special? Well, not really. You just looked at the obvious thing. Yeah, the sun rises in the east. So this is kind of how reincarnation works. Now, what's this big circle? Okay, this is the oversoul in heaven. And without going too far down that rabbit hole, I can even tell you what I believe heaven is: the afterlife or the before life or whatever you want to call it, right? Heaven, where you go when you do the thing that we call die. But for the sake of time and simplicity, I'll just call it the energy part of the universe, okay? And it's the oversoul in heaven the higher self, if you will, right? And remember, there's no such thing as time. Albert Einstein is the one who figured out that there's no such thing as time, right? So, from the perspective of the higher self or oversoul in heaven, all of these incarnations are all happening at once. Okay, so here's your past life, previous incarnation in the year 1750. Here's the one from 1870. Here's present day, you and your twin flame, simultaneous incarnations. And I don't even like to use the words twin flames. Like with my coaching students, over 5,000 students, guys, that I've personally coached through my twin flame coaching system, the #1 twin flame coaching program in the whole world. What do I tell people? Simultaneous incarnations, because the word twin flame, it just sounds kind of cute and endearing and romantic, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just because of that, it kind of is distracting you from learning the true science of what's going on here, okay? And then, of course, this is a future incarnation. So meeting your twin flame really wouldn't be a lot different than if you were to get into a time machine and go back in time and meet your previous incarnation. Now, maybe there's a process where the soul does like polarize or split. And if you want to know what I'm talking about, go watch my video called What Are Twin Flames? On this channel, there's a playlist where all of my popular twin flame videos are. The name of that playlist is called How to Get Your Twin Flame. Go find that playlist on this channel. And it's the second video. It's called What Are Twin Flames? Where I kind of break down the science of how maybe that polarization takes place. So I've got some pretty good hypotheses about what this is. And there must be an explanation. I mean, I feel like I'm trying to be pragmatic here. There's no such thing as magic, really. Magic is just science undiscovered. Magic is just science undiscovered, okay? So there's got to be a technical process going on here. And we already know there's already people that, again, they've never even heard of twin flames, talking about reincarnation in this way. It's just a simultaneous incarnation of your soul. Now, here's why it's important for you to understand this when it comes to, is this my twin flame? Is it a false twin flame? Is it a karmic? What is it, right? Here's the thing. Technically, there's really no such thing as a false twin flame or even a karmic or maybe even a soulmate, although, I don't know. I think maybe soulmates and maybe even karmics, but false twin flame, no. But how we use those labels is where I would say maybe to them. Like, what do you mean? And I don't want to get too deep into that. But here's what I'm getting at, guys. It's really simple. If you just break it down and distill it and look at things empirically here with your twin flame. Your twin flame is you. This is all you need to know. Your twin flame is you. Your twin flame is you. The question is, what is you? Most people believe that they are this personality, a history, a story, a collection of retained thought and emotional patterns. And I'm not saying that's bad, that's just what that is, right? The ego, personality, the identity entity. It's literally a clump of retained thought and emotional patterns. Okay. That is where most humans derive their sense of self from. Eckhart Tolle calls this the human condition. Remember, you are body, mind, soul, right? So that's the mind. You're deriving your sense of self from the mind. But the truth of you, and this is where a spiritual awakening comes in, which is exactly what you're experiencing right now if you're on this channel looking for information about twin flames. What is your twin flame? Your spirit, your soul, spiritual awakening, body, mind, soul. The soul is the true self. The soul is the true you. And the soul is not a memory or an emotion or a thought. Again, we're not saying those things are bad. That's just not what the soul is. The soul is consciousness. This is the core of transcendentalism. remembering who you are. You already are not the ego personality. You are consciousness. That's the soul. That's truly what you is. That's what that is. What is me, right? You are your twin flame. Well, what is that? What is me then? Right. So your twin flame is you at the deepest core level, the soul. Everybody else is just everybody else. Karmic, soulmate, false twin flame, right? And I'm not even saying using those labels are bad. Like I said, how are you using them? If you feel like you have a connection or a soul tie to somebody, so be it. But here's the thing. In that case, it would be your soul and their soul tied together, and you are connected. With your twin flame, there's no connection. How can you be connected to you? That's kind of silly. You already are you. That's not how this works. If it's a connection, it's because there is other. Again, what is you? What is the self? Right. And again, the way that spiritual masters always explain this awakening process is remembering who you are, unlearning to be the ego personality. Your twin flame is you. Everybody else is just everybody else. And if you want to use the labels for everybody else, okay. But they are just labels. They're a description of an experience. What I'm talking about is infrastructure and nothing else. Your twin flame is the only being in your physical reality who is also you. You and your twin flame are one. You are one. There's not other. With a soulmate or a false twin or a karmic, it is an other soul. But your twin flame is a simultaneous incarnation of your soul. Your mind cannot really understand this, although I'm trying really hard to break it down in a conceptual way, which is mental, right? That it does kind of make sense enough so that we can have a useful conversation here. But if you really want to get this, you got to go in here, guys. You got to take your focus off the external. That's why I'm always telling you guys, you got to detox from the twin flame person, the physical manifestation of your soul. It's another incarnation of your soul over there. It's you in another body having another experience. And you can say whatever you want about what your twin flame is doing and how they're acting. But, like with my twin flame students, well, the reason that your twin flame, if it is for sure your twin flame, the reason that they're running from you and maybe acting that way is because you're asking that question, because you're focusing on them. Now, how to tell? Transcend, guys. Transcend. This is how you can tell. So now, in the final leg of this video, here's how you can tell if this person is your twin flame or not. There will be a uncontrolled spiritual awakening experience. And uncontrolled is one word that I could use to describe it. That sounds like out of control. It's not out of control, really. It's really a controlled spiritual awakening. But what I mean when I say uncontrolled in this context is it's going to happen whether you like it or not. You're having a spiritual awakening and there's nothing you can do to stop it. Your soul is like, we're doing this, motherfucker, and we're doing this right now. Get ready. And here's the thing, guys. Your forced spiritual awakening, that's why you met your twin flame. And by the way, if you just treat it that way, instead of making it about the person comes back. Just saying, don't focus on the physical incarnation of your soul over there. Just focus on this in here, the true self, the real soul. So here's the thing, guys. You're gonna know that you are on an authentic spiritual awakening journey. You're just gonna know it. And the mind is going to be going, well, how do you know that? And there's going to be all these doubts. That's the mind, guys. Nevertheless, this experience of knowing remains, right? The soul is the experiencer. The soul is not mental. The soul is consciousness. It experiences. It is pure sense. Sense itself. It is not a sense. It is your very sense. It's you, the experiencer, what I feel. It is that which can feel, that which does feel. And you just know. This is an amazing spiritual awakening, and I just have to surrender to it. That's how you can tell if this is your twin flame, your soul in another body waking you up. The soul is only interested in its own evolution. If that does not ever happen, it's not your twin flame, guys. It was just a bad experience with somebody else. And you can use whatever label you like. Karmic, false twin, whatever. If it is truly your twin flame, you will awaken. And one more thing, guys. Get off the twin flame woo. Get off the twin flame woo, guys. All of this stuff about mission and healing and clearing your karma and balancing your inner feminine and masculine, those are all good things on their own, guys. But if you're doing anything at all to get this person to come back to you, you're going to make it worse, guys. You got to take your focus off the physical person and go in here. Go watch my free coaching videos, guys, or sign up for my paid coaching. Your twin flame is already you. And if you're on an authentic spiritual awakening path by force, you were forced to do it, after having met them, it's your twin flame for sure, guys. That's how you can tell. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys found this video enlightening. I hope I cleared some things up for you today. I will see you next time. Have a good week.